Hi, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I would love to have you subscribe, like, comment, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to be creating a couple different looks with a palette that I just discovered not too long ago from a US indie brand called Bad A Beauties Cosmetics. This is the Field Op palette. I initially heard of this brand from Leorah Hallel Goldberg. She did a new release video a few months back and featured this palette on her channel, one of the palettes that she talked about, and I was so intrigued by it and I thought, I gotta get this. Let me show you the color story. It is just this beautiful grungy green, browns, reds. I mean, it's kind of neutral, but it's got these amazing pops of color. I have used this palette once before and love the look I created, so I figured I would try some different shades out today in my looks. This brand, just to give you some information, is a USMC veteran, woman-owned brand, and she really talks a lot about in the description or her bio, I guess, on her website, that she really wanted to support women that are in the military, first responders, that sort of thing, and really show the femininity behind these badass beauties. And I thought that was so cool. I've never been in the military. I mean, I think I'd last about 13.2 seconds at boot camp and they'd say, ma'am, go, there's the door, bye-bye. But I always have such utmost respect for people that serve in the military. My dad was a Air Force veteran and served in Vietnam, so part of the reason why I got this palette was to kind of just celebrate him too. So yeah, if you're interested to see these two looks come together and hear my final thoughts and feelings about the palette, please sit back, relax, and let's get started. Alrighty, so I've already done my brows. I just used the Item Makeup Ultra Fine Defining Brow Pencil in the shade Warm Blonde. I covered that with my Milk Makeup Clear Brow Gel. And then I did prime my eyes with the ABH Eyeshadow Primer. I just got that either last Ipsy or the Ipsy before that. And I've used it a couple of times and I really like it. I don't have to set it because it's not as tacky as the NYX Proof It, so that's fun. Okay, so let's get started with this look. I'm going to be using the Field Op palette from Bad A Beauties, and I'm going to start off with this gray shade here called Gunpowder. And I'm just going to be using this small Beely blending brush, tapered blending brush, and just putting that in the transition area. And I have used this palette one other time, and I liked it a lot. It's a very nice palette. It's pretty pigmented. But I haven't used this shade or the other shade I'm going to use in this look either. It's kind of a darker green matte, kind of an army green, which fits the palette quite well. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. Today is Monday, which is my day off work. I do work in the dental field, and most dental offices work 4 days a week, which is nice because I always have a 3-day weekend. And I've been doing that for the last almost 16 years of my life. So yeah, I mean, I haven't always been at the same practice. I've been at this practice for, gosh, almost 3 years now. And at first, when I started working there, we were working 5 days a week, but now we work 4 days. So it's kind of nice because then I can have Mondays to do errands and, you know, make doctor's appointments or whatnot. And today I'm going to be picking my daughter up from the car dealership. She's going to be having a one of her seats has a rip in it. She just got this car. It's a used car, but it's new to her. It's a little Subaru Forester, and it had a little rip in the seat, so she's taking that in to have it repaired, and I'm going to pick her up and maybe take her to coffee. That'll be fun. She was living 3 hours south of me for the past 4 years going to college, and she just finished her last college final. She's all done, which is just unreal because I vividly remember my husband and I taking her to her dorm room her freshman year and dropping her off and sobbing all the way home. So it's just crazy that it's over now. And my son now is starting his college career. He's a freshman, but he's about 45 minutes north of me. So I don't see him as often as I thought I would, but I do see him more often than I saw my daughter. So it's nice. But anyway, Sydney moved back home, not in my home, but she and her fiance moved to a house that's about, I don't know, a 10-minute drive away. So I get to see her a lot more often, which is amazing. She is getting married in September in an outdoor venue, which can be a little tricky in Oregon because there's a lot of rain here. It rains a lot, and it kind of starts raining in September or October. But lately, the past couple summers, we've had nice weather pretty late into the summer, into the kind of beginning of fall. So I think it'll be fine. And there's a covered area, so if we have to go under that, it'll be fine. All right, let me get another brush here. I think I'm going to use, I don't think I am, I'm going to be using this Luxie brush here. This is in a set that I got from BoxyCharm. I don't think there's a number on here, but it's just this little kind of flat, dense brush. So good at descriptions, aren't I? Okay, this, I'm gonna go into this shade here. This is called Skivvies. This is a dark green, kind of army green matte. And I'm just gonna use that very lightly because it's very pigmented. I swatched it earlier, I was like, whoa, okay. And then I'm just gonna kind of go in the outer V with that. Just kind of push that around. So yeah, Sydney's getting married in September. She and I got her wedding dress about, 3 weeks ago, I guess, 3 weeks, month ago. Gosh, time flies. And it was really cool. There's a store that's about 45 minutes away from us, close to where my son goes to college. And they have a used wedding dress shop there. And we decided to go ahead and try that out because my coworker, she got married a couple summers ago and she found the most beautiful dress. I mean, you wear your wedding dress once. So, and the cool thing about this store is that it's a nonprofit store and all of the proceeds go to help battered women's shelters throughout the state of Oregon. So that was totally up our alley. We were like, yes, let's do that. Let's support that. So we went and had just a wonderful time together. She tried on about, I'd say 12 to 15 dresses. And one of the first ones she tried on, as soon as she put it on and stood on the little platform and looked in the mirror, like we both got all choked up and cried. So we were pretty sure that would be the dress. But the woman that owns the shop said, you know, let's keep trying some on because you want to make sure you get the one. And she tried on, like I said, about 12 or 15. And she just went right back to that dress and was like, no, this is mine. I have to have it. And it's just gorgeous. So I'm so excited for her. The young man that she's marrying is incredible. I love him and he's very good to her. And they just make a really, really good couple. So I'm very happy for them. And you know, they're young, 22. I've had a few people in my life say, they're too young, you know, what are you going to do? And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Lock her in a bubble? I can't do that. And then now I'm going to go into one of the shimmers. I'll show it to you in a second. I just wanted to show you the brush I'm using. This is a flat packing brush from Beely. I used this in my last video. And I'm going to go into Seabag. That's this shimmer. It's a army green shimmer. And I'm going to put that in the outer part of my lid, kind of over the top and next to that dark green matte. And oh, that's really pretty. I just love grungy color stories, and I love dark grungy colors. So this is kind of right up my alley. But yeah, I mean, I can't really. She's an adult; she can do what she wants, and I'm really not worried about it. I think they complement each other very well. They're both very responsible, hardworking kids, and I don't know. I'm just really excited for them. And then let's see, what else am I going to do today? Well, I have about 400 pounds of laundry that I could be doing. Who wants to do that? But I need to. So I'll probably be doing laundry, you know, just household chores that we love and adore. Oh, now I'm going to go into Silver Bullet. That is this silver shimmer there. I'm going to put that in the front part of my lid. Oh, that's nice. I think I might have used Silver Bullet in the last time I used this palette, but I can't remember for sure. That's very nice. Nice gray shimmer. Silver shimmer. It's pretty. Make sure I get that all nice and filled in. I like that. It looks really pretty. I think though, I am going to go back in a little bit more with that gunpowder, this gray shade right here. I'm going to put a little bit more of that down with my Beely brush that I used before. And it always amazes me how some people, even if you're close friends with them or you've known them for a while, feel the need to say things to you like that, you know, like, well, what are you going to do about your daughter getting married? She's too young. It's like, well, I'm fine with it. She's happy. They're both doing great, financially, school-wise. You know, he has a full-time job. She's now looking for a job, which, you know, that's always the clincher there when you get out of school and you have your degree and then you're trying to find a job. I went through that too. I have a degree in psychology and I work in the dental field, which is not really what I had anticipated, but it's provided me with a good living for me and my kids. I was a single mom for pretty much my kids' whole lives, I guess. And then I am going to go back in with that Luxie brush and go in with that green color one more time. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's not what I thought I would do with my life, but it's fine. So I think she'll find something that she wants to do. I said in my last video that she was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic about a year ago. And so she did get her degree in criminal justice, but she's now thinking that maybe she'd like to go into something to do with healthcare. And she does really want to work with kids too. So I don't know. We'll see what the future has in store for her. It's a very exciting time in her life. I remember eons ago being the same age and just kind of the excitement of what the future would hold. So I'm very excited for her and proud of her. And it was really weird. She texted me the other day and she said, I just took my last college final. And I was like, how's that possible? Okay, so I think that looks really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and go off camera, do my other eye, put my face makeup on, and I'll be back to show you the finished look. So don't go anywhere, stay right where you are. I'll be back quicker than you know it, in the blink of an eye. All right, see you in a minute. I am back and this is the finished look. I really like how this look turned out. I really like the color combo of kind of the grayish silver with the army green. I think that turned out really cool. I'm gonna go over a few other things I used in this look today. This is the LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Stay Auto Liner in the shade Totally Teal. I got several of these from Ulta not too long ago and they are great, great, great liners for your waterline. Highly recommend these. And then on my upper lid, I use the Jaune Bleu Professional Art Makeup Liquid Eyeliner 24-hour in the shade Black. I used this in my last video too, and I just love this eyeliner so much. For my mascara, I use the Ico Rock Out and Lash Out Mascara in Beatnik Black. I got this in my Ipsy, and I just love it. It's got this really cool kind of swooped middle wand, and I just love this mascara. I've used it a few times and really enjoy it. And then on my lips, I use the Folklore Liquid Lipstick in the shade 11. I got this from AliExpress. It was like, I think $1.50, $2, and it's wonderful. It goes on really nicely, dries down well, it's not sticky, it's very comfortable on the lips, so highly recommend picking these up. There's, I think, 5 or 6 shades, so yeah, really nice. So that's the first look. Let's get into the second one. Don't go anywhere. Here we are for the second look. I'm going to be using the Field Op palette from Bad A Beauties Cosmetics for this look as well. I'm going to be using this corner of the palette. I'm going to be using this Moonbeam shade, this Reveille shade, and then I think this Brass shade, or maybe a combination of Brass and Daybreak. We'll see. And yeah, so I'm going to be using this Luxie brush here, this one, and I'm just going to start with that pink kind of Reveille shade in my transition area. And I figured, since I talked about my daughter in my first look, that I would talk about my son in my second look. The room that I'm in is actually his old bedroom. He moved out in August to go to college, and I told him when he left that I would be turning this into my own little space, probably a beauty space, and he was very okay with that, which I thought was wonderful. But it's funny because every time that I come in here to film, I get a glimpse of that wall that's right behind me. I have a great story about that wall. But I thought I would give you some like background of Braden so you kind of understand the whole picture here. Braden was one of the squirreliest boys ever. And I mean that in the most loving sense of the word. But I mean, this kid was squirrely. He had so much energy, constantly moving, constantly making noise. My mom used to call him a fart on a skillet. That was the perfect description. He just was so, just go, 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 go all the time. Very sweet, very kind, very caring, extremely funny. I mean, he's one of the funniest people I've ever known in my life, but just a lot of energy. So he played sports through his childhood and into high school, which was wonderful because that really kind of helped channel his energy into something physical. When he would have a game or practice and he'd come home, he'd be a lot mellower, and we all loved it. He played football from the time he was 10 through his senior year of high school. He ran track for a few years. He played basketball. So, you know, he needed to do that. So he's just done some really goofy, obnoxious things throughout the years. For instance, there was a time, oh gosh, I think he was like in 5th or 6th grade, and he was downstairs in the living room. Somehow the basketball was in the house, which I would normally, it has to stay out in the garage, but for some reason the basketball's in the house, and he was standing next to it. It was like laying on the ground, on the floor. And oh, I'm going to be using this Morphe M321 brush, and I'm going to be going into the Moonbeam shade here and just kind of putting that in my outer V. Just a little touch of that. So he was waiting for his friend to come over that he hadn't seen all summer, and he was so excited that his friend was coming. So as soon as his friend rang the doorbell, Braden just lost control of his senses and was like, bam, and kicked the basketball, and it flew into the hearth. We have like a tile hearth in front of our fireplace, and broke a tile into like 3 pieces, which is still held together by clear packing tape. And it was how many years ago? He's 19, so it's probably been, well, 7 or 8 years. Great. Need to get around to fixing that. And he had a friend also that lived very close by, and this kid would come over all the time, and he ended up becoming like another son to me. I love this young man, and they're still friends to this day. But he would basically spend the majority of the summer here, and they would do things like they would get into a sleeping bag together and slide down my stairs. I have a 2-story house, and slam into the wall by the front door. I'm like, okay, no. I mean, I let him do it a couple times, and I was like, okay, that's enough. So now we get to the wall story. So this was, I think, when he was like in 6th or 7th grade. I think 7th grade, during the summer before 7th grade. And his friend had been staying here for the majority of the summer, and they had decided to go for the weekend to stay at his friend's grandparents' house, which, okay, fine, great. They can have you guys for a couple days. And I was just doing kind of my household chores and you know, laundry and whatnot. And I came in here to put Braden's laundry on his bed so he could put it away himself. I am going to take that Luxie brush again and go back into Reveille and just kind of blend that out a little bit. And I turned around to leave the room, and I looked at that wall that's right behind me. There's a window right there, and the lights were off, but the blinds were open. And I just caught a glimpse of this like shiny stuff on the wall. I'm like, what's that? So I really took my time investigating this, and it looked like somebody had sprayed something all over the wall. There was like these splatter marks all over the wall. It was clear, but it was shiny so you could see it. And I mean, it was like these big splash marks all over that wall. And I could not figure out for the life of me what the heck it was. And so I walked over to the wall, and I put my hand on it, and it was super sticky. And I'm like, oh no. And I looked down at the molding that's like up against the carpet in the wall, and there were sugar ants all over it. And there were drip marks that were like kind of congealing in the molding. And I'm talking thousands of ants. I'm not talking like 10 or 20. I'm talking like hundreds, thousands. I mean, covered. It looked like it was moving. So I went downstairs, got the ant spray, killed all the ants, and then I just left it there because I thought, you know, I'm not cleaning this up. He can clean this up. This is ridiculous. What the heck is going on? So he got home the next day. Okay, now I'm going to go into this brass. Actually, yeah, I think I'm just going to use this brass shade. I'm going to put this brass shade all over my lid, and I'm going to find a brush for that. I'm going to be using this Durime brush, this little packing brush here. I don't know how to pronounce it. And like I said, I'm going to go into that brass shade. So anyway, he got home from his, ooh, that's pretty. I really like the shade so far. Sorry, I've kind of gotten off track here, but I really am enjoying the pigmentation of all of these shades, and I really like this shimmer shade, and I'm just using it dry, just to kind of see how it does dry. But yeah, I think that's gorgeous. So anyway, he gets home. I meet him at the front door, and he's like, "Hi, Mom," all excited to see me and telling me about his time at his friend's grandparents' house. They like went to a pond and all this stuff. And I said, "Hey, dude, let's go upstairs for a minute. I want to show you something in your room." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, okay." So we go upstairs, and we walk in his room, and I'm like, "Is there something you'd like to tell me?" And he's like, "About what?" I said, "About maybe what's been going on in your room lately." And he's like, "No." And I said, "Braden, I want you to take a look at that wall." And you could see the little cogs turning in his brain, and like the light bulb, like ding, like, uh-oh, I'm busted. And he can't lie to me. He's never been able to lie to me. His eyes get all sparkly and his face turns bright red, and which is exactly what happened. And I said, "I don't know what's all over the wall, but you're going to tell me what's all over the wall." And he's like, "I have no idea. I don't know." You know, he played dumb for quite a while. And I showed him the ants, the dead ants, and there were new ones coming in. And I said, "You know, this is totally unacceptable, and you are going to tell me what happened." So he finally admits that he and his friend had taken Capri Sun juice packets, popped the little straw into the little straw opening, put them on the floor, and stomped on them, and sprayed Capri Sun all over the wall. Yeah, my baby, he did that. And I said, "Why in the world would you do something like that?" And he's like, "Well, it was clear. We didn't think anybody would ever tell." I said, "Yeah, that's a great reason." And I said, "Well, how do you feel about the fact that I caught you?" He's like, "Yeah, that was really stupid." And I said, "Yeah, it was." So I went and got him a bucket of soapy water, made him clean off the whole wall, made him clean up all the ant carcasses, and did not buy him any Capri Suns for a long time. I'm going to go back into the Moonbeam shade with this small Morphe brush and just kind of add a little bit more into the outer V here. I really like this Moonbeam shade too. It's really pretty. And I just think these are great shades. The red and the pink aren't as, I don't think they're as pigmented maybe as that green shade I used in my first look, but I'm fine with that because personally I like shades that you kind of have to build up. Sometimes if they're over pigmented, I get a little like, whoa. So it's always easier to add more than it is to take away. So yeah, I'm fine with that. And I think this looks really pretty. I really like this a lot. And I love the shimmers in this palette. They're very, they're not sheer at all. And they just go on really nicely. They're almost kind of like a sticky consistency, which I like. Because when you put them on, they just kind of stay. There's not a lot of fallout. There's really not a lot of kick up in the pans either. Yeah, I think it's a really, really nice palette. And then I'm just going to put a teeny tiny bit more of that Reveille, this pink shade here, put that down around the outside here. Just make sure that's nice and blended. And then that should be about it. So yeah, had some fun times with that boy of mine. He's just something else. But yeah, he's still really funny and silly and is still really active. I mean, he goes to the gym every day. He's like 6'3", weighs, I think, about 200 pounds, and he's a big kid. And he's just, you know, I think he's gorgeous. Of course, he's my son. But he's still a squirrel. Maybe not as squirrely. But, and I think that's one of the hard parts of college for him right now is that all of his classes are online. And he is very social, and he really misses being in class with all of his friends. And I think part of it is because he used to pretend like he was Jim Carrey in his classes, and got a few emails and notes home about my son not having a stand-up comedy routine in the middle of class. So yeah, I think that looks really nice. I think that turned out really pretty. So I'm going to do the other eye, the rest of my face like I did with the last look, and I'll be right back to show you the finished look. So stay right there. I am back again, and this is the finished look. I love this second look so much. I was trying to decide as I was kind of putting the finishing touches on which one I liked best, and I'm kind of leaning towards this one, although I love that silver and green combo. So let's talk about a few things that I used in this look. I did use the ColourPop Cream Gel Liners. I used a combination of the two. This is Good Reef and this is Peach Fuzz on my waterline. I love these so much. For my mascara, I used the Big Papa Mascara from Wet n Wild. This is quickly becoming one of my absolute favorite mascaras. I just love it. My lips, I used the BH Cosmetics Liquid Lipstick. Now, the sticker fell off. So I'm not sure what shade this is, but it's just kind of this really pretty dark, kind of reddish purple liquid lipstick that I love. And then I topped that with the Beauty Bakery Jelliana Lip Whip. This was sent to me from my beautiful friend and sister Steph, all the way from the UK. And I just love this stuff. It's so nice. It feels so good on the lips, and I am really enjoying using this. Oh, and then for my upper lid, I use the Ciate Fierce Flicks Felt Tip Liner in black, and I love this stuff too. So my final thoughts on the palette, let's look at it again. This is the Bad A Beauties Cosmetic Field Op palette. I just think this is such a wonderful grungy color story. I love playing with the greens, the gray, the silver shimmer. This green shimmer was really nice, and I really love these two kind of red and pink shades, and this shimmer here is absolutely beautiful as well. So I really like the looks that I came up with. This has got a really nice formula. The mattes are pigmented, but not overly so, and the shimmers to me are what really stand out. They are just gorgeous. They go on the lid just perfectly. They kind of have that sticky texture, so when they go on, there's not a lot of fallout on your face. There was very minimal kick up in the pan, and I absolutely love this palette. So please go check out Bad A Beauty's website. She has several different palettes. She has a all rainbow palette that's gorgeous. She has brushes, there's highlighters, there's some other merch. So yeah, I'm a real big fan of Bad A Beauty's Cosmetics. I really enjoyed creating these looks. I hope you enjoyed watching them come together. I'd love to know in the comment section which one you like the best. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day or evening to sit down and watch my video. It means the world to me. I definitely look forward to getting to know you in the comment section, so please comment. If you have subscribed or you'd like to subscribe, do not forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're aware of all of my future uploads. Please be well, take good care of yourselves, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you again. Bye.